Afternoon, VC. Wow. Just got done watching the greatest football match I think ever played in the history of the sport. The World Cup final between Argentina and France. Absolutely incredible. Argentina just owned that match the entire first half. Honestly, the first 70 minutes or so, and then Mbappe decided to show up, and it just kept going until penalties. Unbelievable match, heavyweight battle between Messi and Mbappe. My really good friends Jason and Merti are currently in France right now. Just got done watching the match as well. Merti is from Nancy in France, in the northeast of the country near Belgium. And my heart goes out to them. But I mean, what a treat that match was. I know you're not here for all this. It's the Vinyl Channel, but I've been into the B Core label out of Barcelona, great punk and rock music for a long time, and I adopted when I got into that music and looked more into Barcelona, and I fell in love with the city. Being able to go over there, I became a Barcelona fan, and so to see Lionel Messi win a World Cup finally was absolutely outstanding. I got these two jerseys in Barcelona. And I know he's playing for Paris now, which makes it really bittersweet for France, because he's now tomorrow he's back with PSG. He's playing for Paris, which is unfortunate. I wish he could have just always stayed a Blaugrana, with the team in Barcelona, and he may come back in some capacity. I have a feeling he's going to play for Miami here in the States first, since he bought a home there. It'd be a good way to kind of take out his playing days, and then after playing for Miami, maybe come back to the team. But I was very excited to see Messi win. I mean, it was kind of a no-lose situation for me, having friends from France, and I normally pull for them when I'm hanging out with them, and I have a friend from France at work, and a lot of my company I work for is owned by Vinci in France, but I am a huge Lionel Messi fan, so it was great to see him win it. To the records, these are going to be records this week that have come in. Some nice stuff here. The first, I found this at Earth River Records in Asheville, North Carolina. Fairly new shop. One that Dylan at Noble Records has championed and gone up there and found some great stuff. And I guess this record was there when Dylan was there and he passed on it, is the story. I ended up speaking to the owner of this record store on the phone. What a great guy. And I'm going to have to get out there in the new year. They've got some great records. He sells on eBay and Discogs as well. Earth River Records. I guess his dad ran record stores way back in the day and still had stock in storage. So there's, dead stock stuff, or just a lot of older, rockabilly and rock 7 inches and records from, back in the 60s or whatever that he's been able to help start his shop with. So that's really cool. I need to get up there and take a look at stuff. I looked at his Discogs. There's a few nice pieces on there. I'd like to look at them in store. But he had this record here. This is a record I've been looking for ever since Alex Motor 247 showed this years ago. And that's Louis Perez. IPAN in Zitlimetzli, Mexico Magico Cosmico. This is NL Ombligo de la Luna. And it's very ironic that Dom he just showed this in his video, he won the auction for this record that Carolina Soul had. He won Greg Wooten's copy. This is a different copy. It's not the promo, but it is the first pressing. And let me show you the label here. Well, I'll show you the artwork on the inner, or on the inside of the jacket. It's absolutely incredible. And an incredible record. There's the first press label from Mexico. I want to say 1981 is the year. Yeah, 1981. This is a fantastic LP. And it covers a lot of different genres. Something you really have to kind of listen to and for yourself. But Dom did really good on the auction. He paid significantly less than I did for his copy for a promo. So yeah, Dom did great. But to find this in an actual record store here in North Carolina was something else. And I got it right before the Carolina Soul auction started, or I probably would have tried to have bid as well on that. I'm glad it worked out this way so that I wasn't bidding against Dom on a record on Carolina Soul, because that could have gotten precarious. Speaking of Dom, he just showed this record as well in a prior video, but he got an original copy. This is a record I've been looking for ever since the Grail Cube got shown to us by the Secretary of Funk up in DC, Mr. Van. And that's Sound Awareness by Brother Ah, Robert Northern, with special guest Max Roach on Strata East. This is, I forget what reissue this is, but yeah, you've got the M-Boom deal with this, with Max Roach, with Brother Ah, spiritual, free. Yeah, Brother Ah's on French horn and African 3-hole flute. This is just fantastic stuff. Howard Johnson on the tuba. I don't know what's going on. I've been giving some tuba players some love lately. I'm gonna check my temperature. But a nice reissue, very cheap. Originals go for a lot. There was one in the Carolina Soul auction. I watched it for a while, and then it got bonkers, and I bailed. So I settled for a nice reissue. It's a seller in Denver that has a lot of good reissues in the free jazz realm, and he's top-notch seller. And then I think everything else here, yeah, everything else was a dig from Repo the other day. We got a nice Christmas bonus from work. So I took a little bit of the bonus and went on a dig at Repo. I had one record in mind that I was hoping to find there, and they actually had a copy. Not the exact copy I wanted to get. They have a few, but been digging the Beatles lately, and so I got the White Album. Now this is the cover's a little bit, got some aging to it, and it's not a numbered copy. This is a 1978 copy, but the records are VG Plus, both of them, and it's in nice. It's all intact, and all the inserts are here. So you've got, and we'll show you these labels, the Purple Capitol labels, really nice, and just beautiful copies. Helter Skelter's on here. John, we were talking about heavy Beatles tracks. He's like, you got to get this record for that. So that's what we did. But it came with the poster and the cards. So it's got they're not in perfect shape, but they're here. All 4 cards and the poster. So there's yeah. So that was a nice surprise. I'd love to find, a copy in decent shape, a numbered copy with all this stuff, but now it's not really necessary for me. This is all I'll ever need, especially how good these play. And kind of a hodgepodge of stuff on this, as Maslow just said. I would not disagree with that at all. But yeah, a record everybody knows. Picked this up for a couple of reasons. I have a 2004 reissue of this record. I'd love to get an original, but that's going to pretty much run $300 for one that's in decent shape. And I'd have to get it shipped here from the UK at best. Probably Germany or somewhere like that. But Keith Hudson, Flesh of My Skin, Blood of My Blood. This is incredible. Maybe my favorite reggae, roots reggae album after Horace Andy stuff. Yeah. This I picked up because A, it's got the original artwork, as my basic replay reissue does not. So this is the original LP artwork, and it's been remastered, and there's like 3 additional versions of cuts on here. So this was huge to pick up. It came out last year, and for some reason I didn't pick it up at Tip Top Premium Sound when he had it. I probably was getting some other stuff. It's like, I already have a reissue. So, but this was really good price. I was surprised, so I grabbed it, and kind of was surprised to see it in repo. He's got a guy working there that worked for, I think, Rough Trade, or worked somewhere in London, in England. He's been working there and kind of changed things around a little bit in there. And they now carry a lot more reggae. That section's really grown in there, which is great to see. They carry a lot of the good reissues. And then I found a few used records here. And this one was filed in the blues section, so completely, well, not completely misfiled, but fairly misfiled, and it's super cheap. And that's John Barbarian Oud Artistry on the Mainstream Records label. This was incredibly cheap, so I totally grabbed this. And in perfect shape, first pressing too, first cover. Oud music, Middle Eastern stylings from some American players. So I was happy to pick this up. Another thing that's cool about Repo is he has a ton of leftover Record Store Day stuff going back tons of Record Store Days. If you need any of the Record Store Day stuff that you've missed out on, there's a chance he's going to have it just sitting in the bins. Everybody always goes to Lunchbox for that stuff, but Jimmy's got it, and after it sits a while, he does mark it down a little bit. So I grabbed this 10-inch from Blind Willie Johnson, Dark Was the Night, Cold Was the Ground. One of the greatest songs ever, according to Joe Buzzard, who just passed, who collected all the original shellacks, and he had this, and it's one of the most valuable and rarest. But it's backed with It's Nobody's Fault But Mine. Fantastic blues artist from Texas. Happy to grab that. I have a Folkways album of his with some of these songs, but this was really cool to get cheap. And also in the blues section, I pulled Lightnin' Hopkins, The Blues Giant. This is a reissue of this music. I think from this, maybe 73, somewhere around there, early 70s. Some really good Lightnin' Hopkins tunes I didn't have. Big Car Blues. Yeah, really good shit. Really digging some Lightnin' Hopkins. Great blues guitarist. That was a cool one to find. I'll show you this label. Stereo copy. There's the label. In fantastic shape. Another reason I picked this one up. I saw some good James Brown in there too, but I decided to get this Lightnin' Hopkins instead, since I have a bunch of James Brown, not as much Lightnin' Hopkins in the collection. So that's what we did there. And then I think I actually checked out, and then I was like, oh, you know what? I forgot to look at the jazz, because he had a crazy collection come in with a lot of 50s and 60s records. And I was wondering if anything had, because it was taking a while to get it all out. So I was wondering if anything else had got put out. And I actually found this record really cheap. Houston Person Goodness on Prestige in a first pressing on the purple Bergenfeld, New Jersey label. Nothing that's gonna blow you away, but really damn good jazz record. And a lot of players I don't recognize. So I've recognized Houston Person, great tenor player, and a really cool cover. Sonny Phillips organ, Billy Butler guitar, Bob Bushnell Fender bass, Frankie Jones drums, and Buddy Caldwell on the conga. Soul jazz at times. Really good. Very happy to find it in beautiful condition. Still in the original shrink. I forget the year on this. Might have been this. I can't remember if it was late 60s or early 70s. And that's what I found at Repo. So that's what we got this week. Hope you're well. Peace.